Welcome back everyone, Merchant Ricky here, and we are talking about One Piece chapter 1085. And I don't know if you can tell that I'm slightly sweaty, but that chapter has me sweating. That was a crazy chapter. Really quick, first I'm going to further my channel W, which my long-standing theory, which again, it's really not a theory, it's more like just a course of action I predicted Oda would take, which is with permission from the Celestial Dragons, Leo and Sai would in fact, well, not Sai, but Leo, would attack a celestial dragon with the permission of Don Quixote Milesgard. Since that went to take place in chapter 1084, also in my video, I assumed that they would take the claim of being like, we did this and we're Straw Hat Luffy's underlings. And well, in chapter 1085, it is in fact a very big fat plot point that happened. However, we have much more pressing matters to talk about. Imu is not just speaking for the first time, but the same chapter we get Imu speaking more than one word for the first time, because 1084 he or she spoke a word, right? This Imu is now straight up telling Cobra, like, listen, bruh, you are gonna shut up and you're going to listen to me. Imu refers to themselves as Mu. We don't know why, but we'll probably figure it out, right? Imu refers to himself as Mu, saying, Cobra, I have two statements and one question to ask you. I might have got that wrong, but the chapter was just so fever dream. I went shopping today, so I didn't have time to film when I had the mojo, but oh well, it happens. He's telling Cobra, like, listen, your D clan are the people that we had as enemies back in the day. That was our fight. Furthermore, the D now do not know anything about their past clan history, nor are they anything significant, is what Imu is trying to say. Then he says that Lily made a mistake on a certain day, that the reason why they're the scholars in Ohara and the pirates are searching for the poneglyphs is all Queen Nefertari D. Lily's fault. And this is massive, that Imu doesn't reveal that Nefertari Lily is Nefertari D. Lily. Sorry, I'm a little excited. Actually, Imu tells Cobra to answer his own question about the D by saying, say Lily's true name, please. The letter that you have, who's the true name of that sender? And that's when Cobra says Nefertari D. Lily. But there are parts of the chapter I'm leaving out just because I want to avoid copyright, since it has not hit immediately, and some channels have actually been encountering problems with that. So, I will show a couple images every once in a while, but don't expect too much edits on this. I just want to bring up how Nefertari Cobra was basically like, hey, if I lie, is there any way I can just leave? It is a whole misunderstanding. And the Gorosei with the big mustache is like, the second you saw Imu, your fate was decided. 4 of the Gorosei have really nice old wood handle guns. And then the Gandhi-looking Gorosei just whoops out his sword. They're about to kill him. Sabo then busts out an attack from this pillar he was watching behind, and he throws a fireball at Imu. It looks like Imu bites it and eats it. It does not show Imu in the scans. It does not show Imu eating it or like transforming. We do get the eye getting slightly bigger, which kind of looks like a transformation. Well, that remains to be seen. However, he strikes Imu and he strikes the Gorosei roughly at the same time. In the order that they're standing in, they transform into giant freaking silhouetted creepy monsters. Now, the silhouettes, one is clearly a bird, one is clearly like an awakened human fruit user, it looks like, or just an awakened user, like they have like the ring around their neck and they have like an elongated neck and like big gangly eyes. We see Imu's silhouette crawling down from the empty throne. Then we see like a horned one and one that looks like it has a big mustache. And if you look at the order that the Gorosei typically stand in, you have Saint J.D. Garcia to the far left. Then you have the tall, slender-looking man that's the youngest looking of the Gorosei. Then you have Gandhi. Then you have the Gonfal-looking one with the triangular mustache. Then you have Gorbachev Gorosei with the goofy mustache. At least that's the order they were in this chapter. So it goes without saying that that's probably the order of those beasts that they transformed into, meaning that Gonfal-looking Gorosei, for example, is that bird, which would be fitting because he looks like Gonfal Skypiea, right? there's like a hippo looking one, and that looks like the Gorbachev one. Like the bottom of his silhouette looks like he's got a big mustache. But Sabo is surrounded by all of them. But an interesting thing to note is that when 2 times in the chapter a black arrow comes in and like pierces King Cobra and Sabo. Sabo gets pierced once, King Cobra gets pierced twice. It comes both times when the word, the letter D, the initial D is spoken, which is very interesting because it's also like a pointed arrow that looks like a devil's tail. Like the typical, like stereotypical, like 1950s looking devil with the pitchfork and all. Like it looks like that kind of tail. And it's like swiveling about and just like piercing. We don't know who is controlling this arrow. It could be a Holy Knight. It could be one of the Gorosei. It could be Emu. We don't know. You don't really get a good look. Like if you were to look at the angle that the tail is piercing at, you can't really get a good feel if it's the Gorosei or Emu, or if it's someone else watching, like a Holy Knight. And moreover, I don't think it's a Holy Knight, only because there's a chase scene where Sabo is running from the Gorosei with Cobra, and it shows the 5 silhouette monsters, and one of them that wasn't revealed when they transform is like a big like it looks like the Scream almost, like it looks like that. So there are 5, and then there are 2 big eyes in the background that must be Emu. Another reveal in the chapter is that Waffle was watching the whole time, and he's looking through a little peephole, and his goofy ass is like, I should not have seen this. And I like that they took the time to make the letters shaky. That's cute. It shows that he's scared. And sometimes the scans do not translate over to the official, so we might not get the shaky lettering in the official. But, it's a good touch. Good job, scans. But this is massive, because then Waffle leaves and runs away, runs into the CP0, and we get Jabra and Khalifa's introduction as CP0 members, and they explain the reason why the Revolutionary Army was successful in fighting Ryokyugu and Fujitora is because as Fujitora is fighting the Revolutionary Army, he's also just letting slaves escape, because Fujitora is a good man at heart, despite working for the world government. So he's just letting all the slaves in Maryjaw escape, and Ryokyugu and him get in a fight. So it's not that the Revolutionary Army generals are stronger than them, it's that they had to deal with their own infighting, and the Revolutionary Army took advantage of that. And that's a good plot point. Good job, Oda. I like that, because that the Admiral over Revolutionary Army general agenda is kind of put to rest with that, right? Maybe Sabo can take an Admiral. We've seen him do it in Dressrosa, but let's be real. Admiral should be a little bit more closer to a Yonko, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, but, neither here nor there. Right, Raijin? Anyways, the chapter closes out with the Waffle section, but this is when Jabra and Khalifa are talking to the rest of CP0 and explaining, like, hey, what's up with the situation where freaking Don Sai and Leo announced that they're part of the Straw Hat Pirates? Like, what the hell, So they explain how that's going to cause a lot of commotion, and it already made a commotion in the city square, apparently. There's also an announcement that Cobra and Waffle will no longer be attending the reverie to the other reverie attendees, and they are not, like, a lot of people are just like, oh, I wonder if Cobra passed out from his fervent speech. And then the smarter kings are just silent, like, one of them being King Neptune, just silent looking around like, oh, fuck, that's not good. So a lot of stuff is happening right now. And I know I'm not talking about the events in the order they happen, but you got to understand that I'm a fat, massive, disgusting One Piece fan, and I've been waiting for the reveal of what the Gorosei's power might be for a very long time. Are these Zoan powers? Or are they part of just the basic power set of the Gorosei? Are they actually not humans and some sort of demon monsters? Or, are they mythical Zoan users, which is most likely the case. One of them looks like a bird, one of them looks like a walrus-looking boar thing, one of them looks like a monster with horns, one of them looks like a human with the awakening ring, one of them is just a big globby mouth, and then Emu's like big shadow feature just looks crazy. So what I'm wondering is all 6 of them, Gorosei plus Emu, are they all truly awakened Zoan Devil Fruit users? And Personally, I like this because I was not hoping for Paramecia users or Logia users in the mix. And the reason why I like that is because Zoan types are typically seen as the weakest Devil Fruit, typically, right? Then we see Kaido's Mythical Zoan and it's awesome. Luffy's Mythical Zoan and it's awesome. We see Awakened Lucci and Kaku. They don't really get a good representation. So with the Gorosei and Emu having an Awakened Zoan Devil Fruit, finally we can get some strong Zoan representation. They are my favorite type of Devil Fruit, personally. Next to Paramecia being the second favorite type for me, and then my third favorite is Logia. I don't really care for Logia personally. I never understood how they're so powerful, and I like them. I get the science behind it, but at the end of the day, they don't really like enthrall me as much as a Zoan type Devil Fruit user, because the creativity that a Zoan type or a Paramecia type can use is endless, whereas like the Logias all do the same thing more or less. And now we may have seen, people are theorizing the awakening for a Logia, especially with Karasu, is to actually form your element into an animal and give it life, which fucking awesome. I love that theory. I hope it's true, because I'm a huge animal fan. Not like a don't eat the cows, or I'm not that kind of guy, but I love animals. I think that any animal-based power is really cool. When I was a kid growing up, I loved Beast Boy. When I grew up a little bit more, I liked Animal Man comics. In the Marvel Universe, any type of animal weirdo that's there, I liked, like in the X-Men and all that. But for the most part, I've just always liked the Zoan type Devil Fruits in One Piece. One of my favorite characters ever in One Piece is Dalton, and I love his Devil Fruit. I think it's very cool. I just think that Emu and the Gorosei having this, like I said, is just good representation of all the Devil Fruits being very powerful now. Like, let's, remain to be seen if they get stomped silly by Luffy, but I hope not, right? And I hope that they have some crazy looking reveal, like when the silhouette is gone, I hope that they look scary as hell and crazy and awesome. All in all, it was a great chapter. I'm like beyond thrilled that Leo and Sai claimed the W for Luffy, and I think that is going to, like I've been saying for over a year now, that's going to be the first catalyst of the real war. And especially with, Saint J. Garcia is currently headed to Egghead, we might actually see one of those transformations in the flesh, no silhouette. So will the no break next week be the continuation and finish of this, or is this the finish of the Reverie finally? Here's what we know happened, here's everything that happened, and now we go back to Luffy finally. Because this is like, what, chapter 7 of No Straw Hat Pirates, which, I love me some Straw Hats, but this intensive world building and revealing, fantastic. And at the risk of rambling any longer, I'm going to cut the video here. Have a good night, everyone. It's been fantastic reading these latest chapters with you, talking about them with you. If you got any other ideas, let them go down below. We can talk about them in the next video. I'll throw up a comment or two that you guys put down there. How about that? Anyways, Merch Hunter Ricky. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.